In this project, we looked into the conventional user interface in first-person games and environments. The purpose of the user interface is to convey information about the game to the player in a fast and an understandable manner. There are certain conventions for doing that. Health bars, ammo counters, and minimaps are projected directly on the screen or a heads-up display in a two-dimensional canvas which can separate the player from the game world. According to our research, this creates a gap that can actually break immersion. So, how to fix this and where to start? In relation to health representation, most conventional games use health bars to represent the character's status in some way. Therefore, it became the purpose of this project to see if a cross-modal method could be developed without using a heads-up display, which would represent health to a similar extent as a conventional health bar. It is our belief that using cross-modal methods could positively influence immersion in games, especially when it comes to designing for virtual environments. Through our analysis of recent games that try to answer this question, and by looking into the actual effects blood loss can have on the human body, it was possible to come up with 4 different designs. We then implemented these 4 methods: 2 health representations using auditory features, and 2 representations using visual features. But in order to test them, making a single game environment was not enough. The idea was to develop 2 environments that would be completely different from each other in order to test if the different health representations could be effective in different environments. The first game that was created for these test purposes was The Great Escape. In The Great Escape, the player wakes up in a corridor that is slowly filling up with gas. In order to survive, he has to run through this maze-like complex and find the emergency ventilation button to drain the room of the poisonous gas. The 2 visual representations that were created were an animated effect mimicking human eyelids and a grayscale effect. While the auditory representations were created to mimic human breathing and the human heartbeat. These representations were then tested against each other, which resulted in the visual grayscale method and the auditory breathing method to show the best results, and those were then chosen to be combined. The second game we created was created in a more open environment. This game we called The Mountain of Lost Socks. In The Mountain of Lost Socks, the player is thrown into an ongoing struggle between dwarves and goblins. Every year, these dwarves and goblins fight in an epic dodgeball tournament in order to win the mining rights for their clan. This is where we tested the combination of the 2 best individual health representations.